fight fans, here we go. SparStar Promotions is proud to present the re-rounds of mixed martial arts in the lightweight division. Once again, our referee in charge of this bout, Mark Reyes. And now, introducing to you first, on my left, fighting out of the blue corner, he is wearing black trunks trimmed with white. He is training out of Axie Academy and Pugilist Gym by way of Agora Hills. He weighed in 155 pounds. His record, 3 wins, 2 losses, with 2 wins coming by way of stoppage. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Weston Quiroz. His opponent, across the cage on my right, fighting out of the red corner, he is wearing solid black trunks. He is training out of 10th Planet Oceanside by way of Portersville, California. He weighed in 154 pounds. His record, 2 wins, no losses, with 1 win coming by way of stoppage. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Perez. All right, fans, here we go. The re-rounds of mixed martial arts in the lightweight division.
All right, here we go. Quiroz versus Perez. 4th bout of the night. 3 3-minute rounds.
And I am excited about this one. I have no idea how this is going to go, but we are about to find out.
Quiroz opens up with a spinning back kick.
Right away, Perez shoots in.
He might want to be careful inside
Head and arm, yeah. Looked like he wanted to throw him over the top, but just landed on his back. Not sure this is exactly what the game plan was. At least he's working with an overhook from the closed guard.
And this is always an interesting spot to be in this early because both fighters are dry, full power.
Oh, triangle setup.
There's a beautiful omoplata setup here, but Perez does the right thing and steps over to the other side.
Good transition.
Quiroz showing that brown belt, and Perez showing he's seen it before. He's going to look to dump the leg or dump the legs to the side and try to pass, but it shouldn't be that easy to pass Quiroz's guard, but he's halfway there.
Yeah, eating some punches to the temple on the way.
You can just see Perez looks very heavy on top here.
Yeah, oh, good elevation and looking for this knee bar.
He's got a nice entry into it as
well.
well.
And this might be extended. Pulls out into the saddle.
He doesn't have the angle anymore, but he uses it to sweep.
And good position from Perez to get back on top, and he does so.
You can see the power.
Yeah. The way that he had his knee right underneath his sternum there, so that way he could use his hips to elevate. That was really nicely done off of that single leg grip that he had on Weston.
I think Quiroz has won fights with that knee bar before. I believe he's won.
Oh, and there's an elevation again, right into the knee bar again.
I think it's probably his bread and butter, but Perez, I'm very impressed with his defense and his ability to remain calm here in bad spots.
Well, clearly the training over at 10th Planet Oceanside
is paying dividends.
Yeah. I mean, it's just some absolute killers down there, and they're all very versed in the legs. So
some of the best in the world at no-gi grappling.
Absolutely.
And if he's on the mat with them regularly, then he's seen all of this before, especially leg attacks.
Yeah, really slick entries from Weston, though. Impressed that Perez has been able to prevent them from ending the fight early.
And this is just not a comfortable position to be in if you're Weston Quiroz.
Yeah, especially you're starting to eat some punches, starting to get stacked a little bit.
And probably a little frustrated that he had a nice omoplata entry and 2 knee bar entries and wasn't really able to do anything with them.
Yeah, I like the way he's using either overhooks, or here you can see this wrist grip where he just has it wrapped over, and he's able to isolate the arm and start looking for attacks.
Perez proving to be more than a formidable opponent here, just putting the pressure on Quiroz.
Yeah, and nearly thrown himself into a triangle, but looks to hit that big man pass.
Finally passes the guard as we complete round 1. And I wonder if that's going to leave an impression on Quiroz that, hey, maybe I don't want to be underneath this guy.
Man, whew. That one was.
There was a lot of action there, too, and I saw Quiroz take a big breath as he stood up.
Yeah, I mean, and a big output, too, from Perez.
Yes,
so
both guys.
Be curious to see how that affects them going into round number 2. A little bit the way that I kind of expected it to go, although I didn't expect Perez to get out of those leg lock injuries.
He defended those very well. I mean, the setup was beautiful from Quiroz. He was just unable to find the actual finish, in straightening the leg, because Perez is a little too crafty in his defense.
Yeah, one thing that I would like to see Weston do is not connect his legs in the triangle for that knee bar. I know it's a popular way to do it.
It's like instinct, too.
Yeah, but if you just go knees together and heels together, especially on the far hip,
it's easier to control the leg.
Yes.
Yeah.
I believe even Victor Hugo was saying that was one of the big things he changed in his game, and it made the biggest difference for him in 1 year that he was competing, maybe like 2021 or something like that.
Yeah, it feels like second nature to want to cross the legs when you get in that kind of a position. But
yeah, and a lot of people use it to great effect, too. So it's not like it's wrong.
Right.
But if you go with somebody that's very good at defending, that little bit of wiggle room, sometimes that could kill it. And here, on a single leg of his own, Weston...
This is the Quiroz we're used to seeing here with the pressure, but look at the power.
Yes, double unders. But Weston gets at least one underhook back. Nope, now the double unders and pushes Weston right up against the cage.
You can see Perez carries a lot of power in his legs, too. He's not just big up top.
Yeah, he's a stocky athlete, which usually means...
Oh, nice right hand into the entry. I like that.
Usually means a lot of oxygen being used, and you can get tired quickly, but we're not seeing any signs of that from Perez so far.
And that could be what Quiroz is banking on, is that this guy is so big, and eventually he'll get tired. Looking for that arm-in guillotine.
Standing.
Yeah, it's very rare to see a finish from there, although we have seen it due to poor referee stoppage.
And just going to use that to drop down to the legs. I like that.
And these exchanges are very exhausting, where you're changing level and switching head position and over-unders up against the cage. It's very tiring.
Yeah, mixing up pressure and punches.
And changing position like this, where 1 second it's Quiroz with his back to the fence, and the next it's Perez. Spinning elbow, not even a legal strike.
I think he was trying to throw the back fist, but it was just too close quarters, so it ended up being the elbow.
Had the elbow landed, it would have been a penalty, but now we get some exchanges on the feet.
Oh, good level change from Weston.
Yeah, but look at the timing and the hips on Perez. I mean, the takedown defense there was like George St. Pierre style, just nonchalant, barely had to move.
Yeah, just gets an underhook or two, and
the timing is just beautiful. You can tell Perez has spent a lot of time wrestling and defending wrestling.
Yeah, really surprised. That was a pretty clean entry too. So
it was fast and well timed.
If this stops right here, who do you give this to? I mean, this is it's
yeah, probably Perez, because he spent the majority of the round on top. Even though he was defending a few submission attempts, he did more damage, I feel.
No more punches.
It was almost like a slip there.
Yeah, I didn't see. And Weston looking to jump on a guillotine right off of it, or at least a front head and arm hitting a go behind.
He thought about sitting back to that guillotine, but didn't feel that he had it, and I think he was smart.
I think that is smart. Wow, and Perez just peels that headlock right off. And I like this. Time is winding down, and Weston starts throwing some punches, and that's going to be the end of the round. And this one, oh man, I wouldn't want to be a judge for this one.
Yeah, I mean, we could be. I mean, who knows? It could be 2 rounds to none. Perez. It could be 1-1. I mean, it depends on if the judge is submission heavy. He could give round 1 to Quiroz because of the attempts.
It's potential. And you just never know when you're talking about judges too. So it depends on like what criteria they happen to be looking for more.
Yeah.
What they're seeing, especially from their vantage point. And both of these competitors, very good athletes, going into the 3rd round, and they're both tired, but they both look like they have a full of the round in them, no problem.
Yes. Yeah, both these guys have been around the game long enough to come in here conditioned and ready for 3 full rounds, which is what we're going to get, I think. I'd be surprised if we see a finish in this fight. I don't see
They're
how.
just both too good, yeah. When I see stuff like this, especially, it's so difficult in the amateur MMA world. Where there's just not a ton of information on these guys, just because they haven't been around long enough. And Heather, our matchmaker, just does such a fantastic job matching these people up. And you can see with this match, too, pretty even.
And Quiroz looks like he's the fresher fighter here.
Yeah, I like those feints into the clinch. Unfortunately, Perez, very good with the wrestling, and especially with this clinch.
And if I'm Quiroz, I would. Yeah, I like this. I think he should back up and start striking. I think Perez is tired.
Yeah, but I like the way he's doing this, where he clinches and he makes Perez
breaks.
think that he's gonna go for the takedown. Then he breaks and hits something like that, which is just not expected, and then back to the clinch again. It's exhausting and it's hard to predict. But then you run the risk of being backed up into the cage yourself, which is what happened with Perez right there on Weston.
You can see the strength. I mean, Quiroz is trying to circle off, but Perez just too powerful. He's able to keep him right where he wants him. There's Quiroz with a little footwork to try to find the center of the cage, but gets pressed right back up against it.
Yeah, good job from Weston here, too, because... nice right hand from Weston.
I think this
Another
is
one.
I think he should stay here with the strikes. I think Perez is tired, but that's a beautiful shot. If Quiroz can stay on his feet, it's going to be...
Going for this Kimura counter.
It's going to be paramount to him winning this round. I would not advise to sit back for this Kimura. I don't think he's going to finish it.
Once he had the hands disconnected, he should just look to get out of here.
I would abandon this Kimura and look to get off the cage and go back to the hands. He could be down 2 rounds to none here.
Now head to outside, and he uses that to flip Perez over.
But I don't think he's going to end up on top.
Oh, man. This one's rough.
This is what I was saying. I think
he needs to scissor the legs, come up, and now just break. Yeah, to your point. Oh, he's going to jump on this arm and guillotine. I do not think that this is a great idea.
He might make liars out of us here, but I don't think he has it.
He's a little bit flat on his back. At least visually, it looks like that.
Yeah, he's okay. He needs to be, like you said, up on his left hip a little more. And I don't think that right arm is deep enough. Yeah.
Perez is so good about slipping his head out of there.
See, this was what I was afraid of when he went for that Kimura, is ending up on bottom and then not being able to get up.
I like going after this Kimura, though.
If he can use it to get back to the feet and throw some nice punches with the last 20 seconds.
Yeah, but this is Perez's best position. Oh, going for this triangle. Perez tries to posture out of it, and he's able to do so.
This is Quiroz's round for sure, but is it going to be enough to win him the fight?
Good hammer fist to the face, and Perez just winging some punches, but none of them really connecting.
He's exhausted. Oh, I think we'll see another 30
seconds.
seconds.
In a triangle.
That's Quiroz's round, no doubt about it.
For sure.
Is it enough to win him the fight? We don't know. We're going to have to see what the judges think. I mean,
yeah, did he get one of those other rounds? It would probably have to be round 2, I would assume.
I'm gonna guess that I'm gonna guess this fight goes to Perez 29-28. That's my guess. But if it goes the other way, it wouldn't be.
It wouldn't be a surprise. Right. Yeah. Yeah, this one was close. This is a great fight.
Perez exhausted here, and for good reason. He put out a lot of energy in the grappling exchanges, defending submission attempts as well as, repeatedly getting the fight to the ground.
Yeah, and this was really smart from Weston, seeing that he had the cardio advantage in round 3 and just started taking the fight to him, especially standing.
Yeah, he landed some nice punches. The best punches of the fight were landed in that round by him.
Yeah. With less than 10 fights under your belt, I'm very surprised to see that type of composure and that level of strategy coming out of Weston. That's really impressive.
Yeah, and even getting creative with the spinning back fist. He's looking for ways to win the fight. And we'll see if it's enough.
Yeah, great fight either way. Both of these guys have got to be really proud of themselves.
Take a look at some of the action here. See Quiroz pressed up against the cage. A familiar sight for the first 2 rounds at least. Nice right hand lands into an entry for a takedown, which was defended. I'd like to see some of those punches that Quiroz landed in the middle of that 3rd round.
Yeah, a lot of this is just clinch work, and it was good. I mean, Perez, I think, had an advantage in the grappling of the clinch.
Here's
but
that spinning.
Oh, yes, that was
it
beautiful.
was very close to an elbow, but it was a forearm. That was a big right hand that landed, and a left behind it. Here was that Kimura counter exchange. This is where he slipped up a little bit, I think, mentally.
It could have been more decisive and maybe even led to a finish if he would have stayed on top, to your point.
Correct.
But great fight from both of these guys, regardless.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to the scorecards. We have our decision. Judge at cage side, Carlos Schaud scores the bout 30-27, while both judges cage side, Mike Bell and Steve Quick, score the bout 29-28 in favor of our winner. By unanimous decision, the blue corner, Weston Quiroz.
There you have it.
That's right, fight fans. Weston
Not too
Quiroz.
surprising.
Weston, showing that skill, dominating the jiu-jitsu game. How do you feel?
I feel all right. I could improve a lot, everywhere, but it was all right.
So who you train with, brother?
I train with Rodrigo Carvalho. He's my jiu-jitsu coach, best coach in the world, and I train with Thor Skanky at Pugilist Gym. So, yeah, I'm out of boxing, out of Pugilist.
But brother, you put on a great show. Like I said, once again, showing that great jiu-jitsu skill, showing off, improving. What's next? You think a belt title? What's happening?
Nah, man, I gotta improve. I believe in my jiu-jitsu. My jiu-jitsu is best in the world, but I gotta put it all together, So, a few more, and then Combate Global was good.
That's right, fight fans. Once again, make some noise for Weston Quiroz.
Weston Quiroz coming away with the W. We weren't sure if it was going to go his way. Judges saw it unanimously. Congratulations to him. And we'd like to see Perez back in there again, too. It was a heck of a fight. Best fight of the night so far.
Oh, absolutely. I will definitely watch another Perez fight. I'll watch it in a couple of minutes if you let me.
Right.
Yeah, fantastic fight. Definitely a lot of good stuff that he can take home and work on, but I would not be upset by this performance by any means. And Weston looked also very, very good.
I was surprised to see the 30-27.